So today's topic is related to our JIRA How To series. The subtopic is mastering permissions, and the special use case which I brought to you today is how to restrict the user from editing fields inside a user story. There are many cases in every project where certain users are allowed to make changes to user story fields, certain users are allowed to create user stories, certain users are allowed to put comments, maybe project administrator or product owner is allowed to put story points, Scrum Master is allowed to change the dates of the project or start date or end date along with the product owner is allowed to do that. So there are a number of use cases. But a normal team member who is actioning upon a user story, who is traversing the story along the board, along the uh, along the Scrum board or the Kanban board should not be allowed to change the start date or end date, because if he changes the start date or end date, it will impact the plan of the project, the roadmap plan of the project. You have a complex plan and where you have different stories and they have dependencies on each other, and then someone comes in and then starts messing with the deadlines, dependencies, it will create further dependencies and all that stuff. So you don't want someone to change those things. Let's see. So to avoid such situation, let's go and see how uh, to restrict that. Before we move forward, let's see what is the Jira's permission model, and then we will go and see how to apply those permissions. So inside the project, you have three things, a combination of three things make it up to a permission. So you have people, you have project roles assigned to people, and then those project roles are used by permission schemes to implement the permissions. So why permission schemes need project roles and people is on the left hand side. If you see on this, number 3 is the permission scheme. So a permission scheme is a bundle of permissions. Each permission can be assigned to one or multiple project roles. So let's go and see the permission schemes inside a JIRA project. So whenever you create a project, you will you will get to see permission schemes assigned to the project. Those permission schemes, let's go to the permission schemes. So each project is assigned a permission scheme based on certain permissions that are already pre-configured in the JIRA. View the permission schemes, you have to go to the issues. From the issues at the very bottom, you will find permission schemes. The first one is called default permission scheme. Whenever you create a new project, a clone of default permission scheme is taken up and assigned to your project. You can see I have these different sample projects, e-scooter, shipping package project, and all that projects. And the project key is prefixed to your permission scheme over here. So now let's go to our project's permission scheme, that is shipping package. I have opened it up over here. You can see a number of permissions over here and the users who are granted these permissions. So you can see a permission scheme, administer projects, browse projects. Our permission, which is related to the current topic, is related to the section, is available in the section issue permissions of the permission schemes. This lists all the permissions that are related to issues, which could be a user story, which could be an epic, which could be a task. Okay, so let's explore it. Over here you can see I have a permission named called edit issues. Okay, let me open the permission scheme, which has a limited set of users roles assigned to it. If you can see in edit issues, it says Atlassian add-on project access and any logged in user. So there are two kinds of project roles which are assigned to edit issues. So for this particular project, anyone who is logged into to the Jira organization account to this particular site or project can access or edit the issues. Whereas, let's go back to our project, which is shipping package. How we edited it is we say that anyone who is member of project role legal or is a reporter of the story should be able to edit the issues. Okay, so you have to go to the permission scheme, and against a permission you have to change the project roles. Let's see how we can edit it. For this you have to go to your project settings. Inside the project settings you will find permissions. Okay, inside the permissions you can go to the, if you want to edit something you have to go to the actions and then you have to do edit permissions. It will take you to the global settings section, that is issues, where all the permissions reside. Now you have to scroll down to your particular permission and you can see edit issues have is allowed only to legal role. Okay, so you can update it. You can say I want a new project role. All your application project roles, or the ones you have over here in your JIRA, you have configured those roles. We'll see how to configure the project roles as well at the end of this. Let's first take someone who does not has the legal role and let's assign it. In the people's section of the project settings, which users are assigned which roles. So the user we are talking about, Docs CAA, is a flavor designer. Okay, he is not in a legal role. If we go to the permissions, the edit permissions, the edit issues permission is only applicable or is only allowed to people, to users who are in legal role. So edit issues is assigned to legal role, whereas our user doc CA is in flavor designer role. So let's go over here to the doc CA account, okay, and let's see if he can edit any user story or not. Let's click on the story, go to the backlog, click on a story. We can edit fields over here, or so this is disabled. You can see start date. Let's modify the start date. It's again disabled. Now let's do one thing. Let's change the role of this user to legal role, assign it the legal role in this project. Okay, and let's go back, refresh the screen. Here you are. He can edit it. He can change the story points as well. Okay, and this time there is no validation failed over here for the story points. We were able to change the start date. Let's put the start date to 17th of May. Pretty simple, huh? That's all for it. The next topic is a user wants to, let's change the sprint. He can change the sprint to sprint 2. He can change anything, components, we have not defined anything, original estimates. If more fields are configured over here by the administrator, user can change any of those dates.